Good morning, friends. Stayed at a little, very inexpensive hotel. It was kind of nice, actually, in Biloxi, Mississippi last night. Was exploring around a little bit. I found a couple things I wanted to see in the daylight, so let's go check that out. I also just had a kind of a strange interaction with a hotel worker. Anyway, let's go. Right across the street from my motel was this really cool shark head. That's cool. Shark heads. I love stuff like this. Walking right into the mouth of the giant shark. I'm very much enjoying this excellent weather here. It's quite windy. Hopefully that doesn't affect this video. Hopefully you can hear me. But what I'm looking at right now is beautiful. Wow. Not just the Honda-C in the foreground, but the beautiful beach and calm waters of the Gulf of Mexico here in Biloxi, Mississippi. Thoroughly enjoying myself out here this morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. There's a couple people about to play volleyball. And that's it. It's prime. Just hanging out with the birds. Cool. Friends, you see that up there on the sign? Established in 1699. That is a long time ago. Clearly, a lot of history here. This sign doesn't have an area code. Must be pretty old. Electric made. Clever. Stopped and got a haircut. I went to this barber shop. I usually don't go to barber shops. And now I got short hair. Real short. How do you like it? It'll grow on me. You have to have a bad haircut sometimes to appreciate the good ones, I guess. It was time to get back on the road and head to a very historical next location. The Biloxi Lighthouse. I made an entire video just about this experience. Look forward to that coming up next. 176 years. Such a long time. Oh, looks like rain is moving in. Time to get back on the road. I'm going to explore a little bit more of Biloxi before I take off. Get some lunch here and see if I can maybe find a good beer. My friend Jonathan in Ohio is familiar with Biloxi. His dad was a pastor down here, might still be down there. But I said, hey Jonathan, I'm in Biloxi. I was thinking about you. He said, go to Mary Mahoney's. I said, okay. So here I am. Mary Mahoney's. I hear Mary Mahoney's has the best bread pudding anywhere. It's famous for the bread pudding. We'll see about that. I wonder if it beats Lloyd's. Doubtful. But we'll see. This place is great. I'm only in the very first room. The entrance is here. You have to walk up to a hostess through this bar area. This was an old house. This predates our independence of the United States by 30 years. A lot of history in this little restaurant. And good beer. Good stuff, it looks like. Yeah, fried green tomatoes and bread pudding. Fried green tomatoes, perfect. Let's try this out. Nutmeg. The secret ingredient, I can tell, is nutmeg. Oh boy, it's so good. Mary Mahoney's was awesome. The people working in there were so cool. I met some regulars that come in here often and had a really nice conversation. What a cool place. The bread pudding, I know you want to know this. If I liked it better than Lloyd's, I'll say that I did not like it better than Lloyd's. Lloyd's is still number one, but it is a very close second to Lloyd's. Wow, so good. Just a different style, you know. There's a million different ways to make bread pudding. They nailed it. If you're looking for Mary Mahoney's, it's right across the street from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Thank you, Jonathan, for the tip. I appreciate that. It's a very good place. If you have tips of where I should visit when I make my way to certain cities, then please leave comments below. If you know some places here in Mississippi that I should visit, well, tell me. You don't know until you know. Something I find interesting about Mississippi, I've only been here about a day, but I met quite a few people in that time. Not normal for me. But I've noticed that the ladies that I've talked to, lots of kind people, and I love the accent of the Mississippi drawl and such. But I've noticed that the ladies have the largest wedding rings that I have ever seen. It's just noticeable. Every woman that I have met has got a wedding ring on, and they are gigantic. Like, I don't know why. The men around here must have some really good jobs or do something. They're doing it right down here in Mississippi. Mississippi is a really nice state. I'd been here a few times before in college, mostly in the middle of Mississippi. I didn't get to explore Biloxi or Gulfport, and I'd like to come back and see more of it. But for now, it's time to move on into Alabama, making a stop in Mobile. Mobile, Alabama. It was settled in 1702 and home to some very interesting things. Just driving through, I could tell it's an old city. There's a lot of old buildings. Like this one behind me, it's kind of newer actually. It was built in the late 1800s. Just looking on a Google map, there's a lot of historical buildings around. I thought I'd just walk the streets a little bit. Oh, Oyster House. The very first Mardi Gras occurred right here in 1703, a year after Mobile became a city. I'm getting the impression that this is a very cool town. I've never been to Mobile, but I can already tell I'm gonna need to come back here and explore more. Well, I came here for the oysters, but they had gumbo. They just offered it, so I had to say yes. I mean, I'm in Alabama. I'm sure the gumbo's awesome, right? And it is. Mobile's a pretty cool little town so far. Not really little. There's 191,000 people that live in Mobile, so it's actually pretty big. And I wish I had more time to explore this city. I can tell that it would be a cool place full of history. Just looking on the Google Maps, like I said, the historical buildings around, I saw at least 10 in this neighborhood. So just wandering around, I'm sure that there's much to find here in Mobile, third biggest city in Alabama. Ah, yes. I love oysters. Winslow's oysters, A+. I am slightly frustrated that my travels are not allowing me on this occasion to really wander around. I don't have the Fantasy with me. It is a little bit inconvenient to travel in the Honda-C. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call it the Honda-C from now on. Anyway, I wish I had more time. I'm gonna have to make that a goal. Right now I'm still not in the mode of YouTube paying all my bills. You know, I don't sell t-shirts and some things like other YouTubers do. But, you know, I'm getting there. In the meantime though, I have to do other work. I have to do some construction work. I've been doing a lot of work at the St. Pete Brewing Company and some other places. So I got to make it back to Florida to do that, but not until I visit the Oyster City Brewing Company here in Mobile. Let's do it. You're not going to be able to see any of this on Dre's World. I have to go to my other channel. But we'll continue since I'm done here. onto a very cool location, someplace I've wanted to go for so long. I've really wanted to go to this next location for a long time. I'll be back, Mobile. Don't you worry about that. I'm gonna check out more of your history and good food sometime in the near future. I see the beacon calling me. I will come to you, Bucky the Beaver. It's time to move into Florida, into the Panhandle, and explore a place that I've wanted to see for a very long time.
World famous restaurants. I don't know any other world famous restaurants. There probably are some.
Got some stuff, and it's not Buc-ee's. Hello, Florida. I finally got off the freeway and onto some country roads, taking me through the small towns in the far western part of the Panhandle of Florida. We cross over the Alabama line into a very unique little town. I've stopped in the small town of Florala, right on the Florida-Alabama line. Very small town, but I found this really cool thing on the side of the road. This plane and this historical marker. Back in 1818, Andrew Jackson camped here with a group of men, 1,200 strong, en route to defeat some Indians nearby. And what the sign says is he changed the course of history of our continent by that action, that battle. He camped right here on these grounds. Well, I get sidetracked easily, and that's okay. Just like this next place I got sidetracked at. Just a few miles past Florala, Alabama. I think I'm past the Florida-Alabama line again now, back into Florida. I just saw this church on the side of the road, and I had to come check it out. Oh, this amazing wood stored right out front. You can see a lot here. Jeez. You can see where the pulpit used to stand. The pastor would preach to his small community. Of course, I'm thinking of all the history that happened right here. This building looks totally defunct, but there's a truck parked out here, and someone might be living in a house nearby. Hopefully, somebody's trying to restore this, but it looks pretty bad. This old mystery church is just down the road from the place that I drove all the way out here to check out. Finally, we're here. Lakewood Park. All right. A lot of people have the misconception that the highest point in Florida is somewhere around Ocala, but nope, it is not. It's right here in Walton County of Florida. I deemed Lakewood Park worthy of its own video. The highest point in Florida was very cool. I hope you enjoy that video in a few days. But for now, I had to get back on the road and finally make it back home. I do enjoy driving over the evening hours. I find the traffic to be much more tolerable. And in this time, I was very lucky to see something amazing. There it is. In the wee hours of the morning. That is incredible.
Good morning, kids. Let's get you 5 day forecast.
Amazing. That is amazing. Just one more reason to love living in Florida. That was amazing. Way to go, Elon. Strong work. Friends, thanks for watching today. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.